Namaste. Greetings from the land of the downlit mountains. My name is Menuka Kadu and I'm a scholar at Rajiv Gandhi University, Arunachal Pradesh, India. A very warm World Social Work Day to all esteemed presenters and participants. The title of this paper is Nuclearization of Tribal Household in Arunachal Pradesh, a social work perspective of 90s generation. The presentation shall follow these contents. Joint family system is one of the defining features of the Indian society, wherein more than one generation live together in a singular household. This arrangement substantially functions as an agency of socialization by exposing an individual to an array of social units and systems. The traditional family system in India is disintegrating and nuclear families are taking the front seat in urban society. Fragmentation of this setting into nuclear units dissuades a person from understanding and appreciating the ethos of unity and oneness. How an individual perceives and functions in the world is an outcome of both their nurture and nature. And the growing distance and disconnect in between and across families in contemporary times is something to be reckoned with heightened alarm. Various socio-economic factors such as migration, globalization, and advent of information technology is paving for a generation that is increasingly apathetic to the clarion call of oneness, solidarity, and connectedness. The rich oral traditions and cultural fabrics of the tribal society of Arunachal Pradesh lays great stress on the unified family system. However, the changing dimensions of family and the implications of nuclearization on the causative agents as well as the society calls for this collective endeavor. The Arunachal tribal household has become porous with transition of nuclear family into basic residential unit, and these changing dimensions compels us to revisit the very fabrics of the society and reimagine the way forward. The objectives of the study are threefold. First, this study is a pursuit to understand the changes that have evolved over the period of a generation in the tribal household of Arunachal Pradesh. Second, aim of the study is to comprehend the direction of today's generation towards an individualistic and aesthetic driven society and the family to be particular. It is an outcome of weakening familial bonds and values. Third, the study aims to render recommendations to fortify and re-establish their connectedness in the era of a nuclearized generation. The, this slide shall reflect upon the overview of the literature. J.P. Singh, in his work Nuclearization of Household and Family in Urban India, stated that, quote, nuclear family has steadily surfaced as the dominant form of residential units, especially in urban areas, unquote. His paper has put forth that, quote, with the rise in the levels of education and spirit of individualism, population mobility, urbanization, and the onset of demographic transition and increasing occupational differentiation, extensive changes have occurred in the Indian family, unquote. Moreover, Singh states that, quote, migration of young adults from rural to urban areas or from small town to a metropolis to earn their livelihood is also an important cause of family dissolution, unquote. They established that even 2 decades back, nuclearization of household emerged to be pertinent in the country. Modernization and globalization have propelled familial distancing and premature disintegration of the traditional system. The push and pull factor surfaced in this publication is synonymous with the study universe of the current study. A.M. Shah stated that, quote, the joint family is disintegrating. It is being replaced by the nuclear family, unquote. He has put forth the division of the traditional family, the transition processes, and the contributory aspects, which is the study at hand tries to validate. To speak about the research methodology, this is going to be an exploratory research study which integrates mixed approach of social research. A purposive random sample of 6 people born between 1990 to 99 has been selected in order to go and compare the shifting dimensions of yesteryear and present generation. Primary sources include semi-structured telephonic and online video interview with individuals born between 1990 to 99. And the secondary data derived from a detailed review of existing body of publications and empirical evidence of the authors. The universe is the Indian state of Arunachal Pradesh, which is situated in the easternmost part of the country. It has a population density of 17 per square kilometer and is bordered by Bhutan, China, Myanmar, Bangladesh, and shares interstate boundaries with Assam and Nagaland. The indigenous groups accounts for about two-thirds of the population, while immigrants, mostly of Bengali and Hindi belt origin, accounts for a third. Um, yes, the study has garnered these findings and points of discussion. First of which is 90% of the respondents are of the opinion that there is a massive change in family system due to intergenerational shift. Second, the study found that regardless of economic and social status, people prefer nuclear to joint family, and 40% contemplated having a joint family only if they have financial liberty. The two prime factors at the fore that is affecting this change were found to be first, economic burden to sustain large families, and rural to urban migration for higher education, job opportunities, and better standard of living. Next, evidence drawn from studies states that variance in 90s and present generation could be especially found in these three fields. First, the child's engagement in daily living, and second, prominence of technology and gadgets since early childhood. Third, popularity of individualism and virtual lifestyle. The recommendations that this study would like to put forth are basically there are 4 points. The first of which would be absence of parents and guiding figures in your family, especially in urban settings, was the foremost issue brought forward by the data gathered, and a need and scope of reconnecting career-oriented parents with their children in a deeper level. The practice of monetary indulgence and lack of emotional connection is also adding to the issue. The second recommendation that this paper would like to put forth would be technology and gadgets are two sides of the same coin, and space for the same has been on the rise, especially in the era of COVID-19. Subjecting the children to smartphone and web of virtuality is accounting for a living space where human interactions are judicious and relationships increasingly hollow. Next, there's a need for deliberate and proactive participation in keeping the societal ties intact. And in that very pursuit, the study is of the opinion that people must come together and enjoy social gatherings. Next, a chain reaction or a society taking a course of direction could hardly be contained. So this point puts forth the benefits of technological advancement and the use of which can be made in order to rejuvenate one's connection with family and kin. With this slide, I have come to the end of my presentation. I thank the organizers to have curated not only a platform, but also an opportunity for all of us to connect and exchange our thoughts and work. Thank you so very much, and I wish good health for Jai Bharat.